Let's give our graduates a round of applause. Hello, everyone. I'm Kate Devlin, and I'm the Chief High School Equivalency Examiner here at Greenfield Community College. I'm so happy to welcome all of you to our graduation ceremony. In the last year, or few years, some of you studied with the Literacy Project. Some of you studied with the Sheriff's Office. Some of you worked with teachers. Some of you studied on your own, online or in groups. Some of you completed your tests from home, and some of you tested in a testing center. You all managed to juggle family, technology, work, and education in this challenging time. We're so proud of you for completing this credential. Let's give them another round of applause. Those of you sitting here ready to celebrate have achieved something that not everyone has. You've gotten here through hard work, sweat, and sometimes tears. I know that some of you traveled great distances to be here, and we're so glad that you're here. Now, how many of you like to figure out mysteries? I admit I'm a fan of a good mystery. There's a bit of a mystery surrounding a ceremony such as this graduation ceremony. There are different kinds of rites of passage that mark certain accomplishments in a person's life. For example, to mark the transition from childhood to adulthood in tribal societies or in some religious traditions. You are taking part in a tradition that has been centuries in the making. It's based on a European educational rites of passage. We marched in to music called Pomp and Circumstance that was composed in 1904 for the coronation of England's King Edward VII. The name comes from a line of Shakespeare, and basically it means to make a great big fuss. It's the music that's now been adopted for most graduation ceremonies. You might be wondering why some of us are in fancy dress robes with extra colorful caps and gowns. This is part of a tradition that was started 800 to 900 years ago when European universities were first taking form. There's a legend that early students studied in drafty old buildings and needed the caps and gowns to stay warm. I don't think we need that many layers today. But we do like to dress up in our academic finery. In some schools, like Hogwarts, or in some European universities, gowns are worn more regularly. Here in the States, we pull out the regalia for special celebrations like today. The different colors and styles of the robes indicate the level of study that a student is involved with or has completed. Each time you finish a degree, a different robe, cap, and hood comes along with it. Your robes are classic black with straight sleeves. Master's degree robes have big pockets in their sleeves, and doctorate robes get even more fancy. The different colors of the robes and the hoods indicate different kinds of degrees and subjects studied, and also indicate different colleges and universities. It's sort of like the military, where you can tell what branch someone serves in and their rank by seeing their uniform. I was privileged to chase some of my dreams and studied at the University of New Brunswick in Canada. When I completed my doctorate in biology, these are the robes that came with it. Pretty flashy, huh? Other regalia are more subtle, and then there are those who come incognito to celebrations, but you never know what degrees they've got stuffed up their sleeves. And I'll leave you with one more mystery to solve. Why your hats are called mortarboards, but mine is a Beefeater hat. By participating today, you're joining a special group of people. When you go out into the world, know that no one can take away your achievement. You set goals. You met your work with purpose. You have the support of the community around you. Wherever you go next, whatever you do next, know that there are people out there who want you to succeed. Look around. Some of those people are here today. I want to take a moment to recognize all the people who are here to help our graduates celebrate. We have family members, the families that you were born into, or the families that you've chosen. There are friends, there are teachers, there are community members all around you. Let's give them a round of applause. Next, I have the pleasure of introducing the president of Greenfield Community College, Michelle Shute, who was just inaugurated as GCC's 11th president yesterday. As she comes to the podium, check out her robe that comes from Colorado State University, where she completed her doctorate in education and human resource studies. Michelle?
Thank you, Kate. One thing that sets apart this robe from the one I wore a year ago is that I have four blue stripes, and that because I'm president. You get an extra stripe when you become a president. But that's not why I'm up here. I am here to talk about you. And even though I'm relatively new to GCC, I've been on the job for 11 months now. This is my 8th GED. Where I came from, it was just GED. I know some of you are GED and HiSET graduates. But I have a little bit of a secret to tell you. So please don't tell the graduates on Saturday about this, okay? Can you promise me this much? This is my favorite graduation. I love this graduation. I love the GED HiSET graduation because I know exactly how hard you worked. This was a choice. This wasn't a go to school, trudge through every day experience that some of your colleagues may have had, some of your classmates, some of your friends. You chose to make this happen for you. And I know that you did that through some pretty insurmountable hurdles, and you did it. You've succeeded, you're in these seats. And so please don't out me by saying that I already said I had my favorite graduation with you all tonight, but I just do want you to know that GCC is here for you wherever your next step takes you. There are workforce classes, there are degrees, there are certificates. We want to see you succeed. So please consider joining us in the future as well, and congratulations on your incredible accomplishment tonight.
Next, we have Judith Roberts, who is our Executive Director of the Literacy Project.
Hi, everybody. Graduates, you look great. Greetings to President Shute, Senator Joe Comerford, Representative Blais, Mayor Roxanne Wiedegartner of Greenfield, distinguished guests, friends, and family. So glad to be here today. Literacy Project teachers, staff, advisors, and board members are with us also. So graduates, I'm talking to you today. I always thought that the Literacy Project had the power to transform lives. I still think that, and we do, but you have that power. You have transformed your own lives. You did the work and to get here. You've taken that power into yourself to realize your dreams, to make better lives for yourselves. And I also want you to know that the Literacy Project has your back. So we always will. If you need to come back for help with something, we're there. Graduates, you are my teachers. I learned from you so much. I learned about persistence and motivation, the value of everyday successes, to read a book, to write a poem, to solve a math problem, the courage to come back to school at 18, at 26, at 56. You did it. And it takes courage to walk through the doors. You've worked hard to overcome obstacles. You've kicked down doors, had hope in the face of adversity. Today's your day to bask in the glory of your success. You did it, hooray. You did wonderful. I want you to join me, graduates, in thanking your teachers. And will the teachers from the Literacy Project and the jail, if you're here, advisors, board members, faculty, staff from the Literacy Project, please stand up. And any teachers that are here, please stand up. You are noble. You are noble people. You paved the road for the students to walk on. Some of you sprinted, some of you trudged, but walk you did, and you made it. Recently, I was talking with an Amherst student who came to the United States to make a better life for herself. She came to the Literacy Project, and she said this: "To come to the Literacy Project is a new start. I understand the language and the culture now. I have a voice, but most importantly, I understand myself better." So it's been my great honor to witness students coming back to school, learn to read well, write well, do math problems, and understand yourselves well. This is my last time to greet graduates, but I want to tell you that you, along with your teachers and the staff at the Literacy Project, have uplifted and inspired me. And no matter what I do next or where I go, I'm going to keep that inspiration in my heart. So thank you for that. Okay, it is my great pleasure to introduce Senator Jo Comerford, who serves our area, and we are so lucky to have her. And I used that analogy of a road before. Well, Jo built the road while she ran down it, and she is the greatest.
Thank you, Judith. Let's all give a cheer for Judith Roberts and her leadership of the Literacy Project. As much as I am honored to be with you this afternoon, I am so grateful for Judith's leadership and the stellar program that you all have built together with her. So good afternoon, Madam President, Executive Director Judith Roberts, Mayor Wiedegartner, Representative Blais, honored faculty and staff, guests, families, and of course you, graduates. Most importantly, you, graduates. I again am honored to be with you today to celebrate this year's Literacy Project GED and HiSET graduation. I have long wanted to come, and finally Judith and I were able to make it work. Today we are all gathered to recognize and applaud your incredible accomplishments, your perseverance, your grit, your faith. You, beautiful graduates, here and those who are not here but are here in spirit and can't be with us in person but are graduating as well. As folks have said, you believed in yourselves enough to break down barriers to your education. You sacrificed, you overcame daunting challenges. You took time away from your jobs, your families, your personal lives to invest in your education, your future, and you did it. You not only made it to this joyous day under this beautiful tent, you made this joyous day possible. Poet laureate Amanda Gorman wrote in her 2021 inaugural poem, "The Hill We Climb," and she read this poem at President Biden's inauguration, quote, "For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. There is always light," Amanda Gorman told us. Well, you were brave enough to be the light you needed to push through all the obstacles. And that light that you have inside you, your families and our communities, we need that light to meet this new day. Now, I know that each of you has a powerful story and even more powerful purpose, as has been said, that drove you to complete your education to this point. And as you leave here today and celebrate this accomplishment, my hope for you is that you feel that power that's within each of you, that power to take hold of your future, to win, to change daunting circumstances, to make structures around you and government work in the best interest of everyone, and you, the best interest of you and everyone. And that last piece about government, well, it's sort of a selfish request on my part. As the senator for the Hampshire-Franklin-Worcester district, which is 25 cities and towns in this region, I work for most of you. And here's what I know. I know that government or structures around you, they only work when informed, engaged, active people make them work. People like you, graduates. You are the ones we need. You're the ones we've been waiting for. You're the ones with ideas, passions, the experiences that are as necessary as they are unique to you. So leap forward. I'll be cheering you on with all the people gathered here. And congratulations. Congratulations, and also thank you to the amazing leadership, faculty, staff, volunteers, and donors of the Literacy Project, whose work is life-changing. Thank you to the families who have supported these gorgeous graduates. Graduates, we can't wait to see the places you'll go, the lives you'll change, the impact you'll have. So onward, and thank you.
I'd like to invite our student speakers to come up. Our first student speaker is Arian Korsab.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm honored to be here today, celebrating such a huge accomplishment with you all. First, I would just like to thank my teacher, Mr. Thane, who motivated me to believe in myself, and to my fellow graduates, I am so proud of us. No matter what your situation may have been, give yourselves a pat on the back for achieving something that a majority of those who leave high school do not end up doing. In February of 2020, I was on the path to graduating on time with the rest of my class. I was attending a HiASSET program in New Hampshire until a month later I was told to take my books home as they were shutting down due to COVID. This led me to feel like giving up was easier than finishing high school, as I didn't have many people to push me in the right direction. I made the decision to work full-time and to pay my rent, and that I would eventually continue my education. When almost 3 years had gone by, I couldn't take the guilt of that any longer. I searched the internet for days on end, trying to find the right program for me, and when I walked in the doors of the Literacy Project in Northampton, I was immediately welcomed with kindness and encouragement from the director, Sheila Murphy, the teachers there, Tanya Rubens, Thane Thompson, and the current students. This program has showed me that there are people who care about your future, your education, and also can make accommodations for anyone in need. Regardless of how long it took to get back in school or to finish a program like this, it should never take away the pride from going back in there and doing what you knew you could all along. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Fakria Moussaoui.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations. Congratulations to everyone who complete this important milestone and to those who are still working very hard. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my journey with you. So as I'm standing before you, today is a very special day for me and for my family. So nothing is as valuable to me as earning education's credential and applying to college to achieve my big goals. Let me first introduce myself briefly. My name is Fakria Moussaoui, a mother of 3 beautiful children. I originally came from Afghanistan, and I have lived in Amherst, Massachusetts since 2016. My family always supported my dreams to be an educated woman. I went to a public school in Afghanistan and completed my high school degree in 2014. So I went to a teacher training college in 2015. Before completing my degree, I came to the United States in 2016. Achieving my educational goal is my biggest goal in life. So girls usually get married at the young age in Afghanistan, and I was one of those girls who got married at the age of 18. I was 19 years old when my first child was born. Her name is Katoyun. And we call her Kati. She's over there. She was 1.5 years old that we came to the United States with my husband because he started his PhD program at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst. Once I settled in Amherst, I started my life from zero. I wasn't able to speak in English fluently. I had no friends, no family. In fact, no one was to hear and to help me and support me. Why? Because I couldn't speak English. How could I make friends without being to communicate in English? After passing some challenging time, I found a best community, the Literacy Project. I started my lessons with beautiful and kind teachers, volunteers, and classmates. One thing that's so special for me is that one of my sons was born during the academic year at the Literacy Project. He came to class with me and became an honorary member of the class in 2019. I carried him for 3 months to my class, and he was such a supportive baby and never cried during class. His name is Shahzad. She's over there. He was over there. When I started the Literacy Project, I put an intermediate level, and the teachers carried me like a seed planted in the garden. So they initiated me with the lessons every day. They gave me lessons like a water that all the seeds need to grow. I was one of those seeds that had a plan and commitment to finish. My language and my math skill improved with the help of the Literacy Project. I learned many new things, including way to navigate the educational system in the United States. Of course, I gained more experience and knowledge. For example, I learned how to use multiple ways to solve my math problem, and I looked for the main idea of the story in text. So today, I can say with confidence that I reached an important milestone toward my goals. I passed the HiSET test. I am planning it further for my education in the near future. Hopefully, by starting my associate degree at the community college, my hope is to be an example and role model for my children so that they will follow my path and become responsible personality in the future. I also want to encourage other students. Please do not give up. No matter what comes to your way, you stay firm, strong, and achieve your goals. Let me thank you all who were involved in my educational journey. I wouldn't have been able to achieve this goal had you not supported me. So thank you once again. Congratulations to all graduates.
Our next speaker is Kat Brenton.
Wow, so this is what it feels like to be up here. Okay. So, first off, I would like to congratulate my fellow graduates. I am so proud of us all because we were brave enough to go through the program. I know how nerve-wracking it is, especially as we get older. I have lied about this day. I have lied to myself. I have lied repeatedly to others about something I've always thought was just a piece of paper. Going through this process, I have learned it is so much more than that. It is the doorway to future, my future. I never thought I would have that. I never honestly realized how important it was to me till probably today. Today is my birthday. 35 years ago this morning, I was born as... Thank you. I was born as somebody's accessory, never allowed to have my own thoughts or feelings, just a caretaker. My fate was chosen at a very young age. My parents were addicts and school was not their priority. Through their actions, I became addicted to narcotics at the age of 12. My parents were my suppliers because instead of parent me, the pills made me sleep. I was in a bar with my father by the age of 14 to earn my way and to keep my mother in her supply. I would go to high school most days late, being out all night after with my father with a bottle of liquid morphine. I was a teacher's nightmare or a blessing, depending on how they looked at it. I was the quiet kid in the corner. I would come to school, read a book in the corner, and I would usually know the answers, but I never really studied. I could do math, but I couldn't tell you how I could do it, and I always normally got accused of cheating. At the age of 16, I had no clue how to explain my brain. I just knew that I wasn't like other kids. I started to resent school. At home, I was usually criticized for doing my schoolwork because it took away from house chores. Not being able to ask for help properly and having a mother who was like mine, leaving school and starting to work was the path of least resistance. I left school and never looked back. I knew my future anyways, and it didn't require a diploma. I didn't need a diploma to take care of my mom. By the time I was 17, I was working full-time to support my parents and our habits. I was homeless by 21, living on the streets. Every once in a while, I still drive by where I used to sleep outside. I was left with no purpose, no power, and abandoned by the same people that had put me there. I had accepted my fate, but the universe wasn't done with me. I found myself in an abusive relationship. Unfortunately, the chaos felt like home to me because it's all I had ever known. When I was 25, I had my miracle baby. I knew I had to do something. I refused to let her live the life that I had. She had already almost died and lost her life during my pregnancy due to domestic violence, and I wasn't gonna let her be me. Sorry. I loved her more. I loved her from the minute that the test turned positive, and I knew she was going to change the world one day, the minute I heard her stubborn little heartbeat. She's been through a lot in her 9 little years of life. A year ago, we escaped our domestic violence situation in February, and we are still very much in that situation, but we are also in the middle of the healing process. And through that, I knew that I needed to start doing everything that I never got a chance to when I was just a ghost in society. My daughter began to struggle in school, and I knew that my role as her mom was to get my high set so I could help her. They say that things are about timing, and I couldn't agree more. As I reluctantly started the process of looking for programs, knowing the issues I had with learning, I honestly didn't believe I would pass these tests. I really didn't believe I was capable of it. By the time I contacted the Literacy Project, I was so discouraged, I was ready to give up. Thanks to the stigma of getting your GED, I was already embarrassed enough. I almost let a few people derail me, and I'm so grateful that I didn't. Thankfully, I was blessed by finding my home. While all the staff at the Literacy Project is amazing, the staff in the Northampton office truly went above and beyond for me, from bringing me school supplies because I wasn't able to get to the office, so I could start classes, to helping me through all of my tests, to even printing my speech for today. Amy, Sheila, and Janet were the support system I needed and believed in me when I truly didn't believe in myself. I definitely wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for them. They were my rocks, my shoulder to cry on a few times. Amy has even helped me understand my brain better so that I can help my daughter understand hers. She has helped me start to plan for my next educational steps and our future, both things I have no clue how to do. You see, I was born incomplete. I was born without power. I was born without purpose or peace. Going through this program, getting my diploma was the first step in creating all of that. From an accidental addict to now today stands as a reminder to myself, and I hope all of you, that no matter what your circumstances are, you can do hard things. I want to thank you for allowing me to speak today. This is something I truly never thought I would accomplish. I want to thank all of you for being here and supporting the students in the way you have. And I want to thank my daughter for pushing me to be a better me and for letting me be your mom. I would like to close my speech with a quote from Jodie Foster. There is nothing more beautiful than finding your course as you believe you bob aimlessly in the current. Wouldn't you know your path was there all along, waiting for you to knock, waiting for you to become you. This path does not belong to your parents, your teachers, your leaders, or your lovers. Your path is your character defining itself more and more every day like a photograph coming into focus. Go find your peace, take your power back, and live your life for you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Tiffany Jalbert.
It's hot. I'll make it quick, promise. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tiffany. I'm a graduate from the Greenfield Literacy Project. I'm honored that I was selected to speak today. I thought I'd be scared standing in front of all of you, but I'm not. I'm proud of what I accomplished. To every graduate here, I'm proud of you. And congratulations, you should be proud. When I began at the Literacy Project, I was apprehensive because I was afraid to fail, which I did at times. But when I wanted to quit, my wonderful teacher would say, "See you in class on Wednesday." Every time I joined that class, I felt like I belonged and that no one was judging me, as we were all there for the same reason. I was an older student walking into something I haven't done in years. Every time I wanted to quit, I remember why I was there in the first place. Not only for my son, but to prove to myself that I could do this. I can say I wouldn't have joined if it wasn't for a friend that was already going to class. She told me to get off my butt and realize I had nothing to lose. This friend was in class with me. We had to share a computer, take our tests, and make it work. I thank her so much, and I will continue to be by her side through the rest of her journey. I start college this summer, and I would never think I'd be saying that I'm a college student, but I've learned I can do this. Everything in life is scary, but if you don't try, you won't know what you can do. That is now the motto I'm going to live by forever and always. To anyone here today that has not got their high school diploma, I have this to say. No matter what age you are, I promise you the great people at the TLP will support you, make you feel comfortable, and do anything that can help you to succeed. You have to do the work on your own, but I hope the teachers there also realize that they're the reason for your success as well. As I wrap this up, I want to say a special thank you to Joshua and Beth at the TLP. I'll miss you guys very much, but I know you're a phone call away if I need advice or someone to edit my work. I have more gratitude for you guys than you can imagine. Thanks for never letting me quit. I also want to thank my family and friends that are here to support me and never let me down either. It means the world in the future to me and my sons. Thank you and congratulations, fellow graduates.
Our last student speaker is Amos Johnson.
Hello. My name is Amos Johnson. I spent the last 20 years lying on applications that I had my GED because as a high school dropout, no one would hire me. And back then it cost $60 to get your GED, which I didn't have because I didn't have a job, and I couldn't get a job that I wanted without a GED. I know, it was a vicious cycle. So I ended up just telling employers that I had it, and no one checked either until I went to go back to school at GCC this year, and they stated I needed my GED, and they knew I didn't have one. I lied for so long, I actually forgot I didn't have it. Thank you. I have also spent the last 20 years struggling with addiction. This month is amazing because it's not only graduation, but I'm 21 months sober. I also got my GED pretty quickly. It only took me 6 weeks. It took me doing the math twice, though. And then I stayed in class, and I was there to help other students with tutoring and to brush up on more math for myself. And I've been the voice of the many graduates of the Literacy Project on radio shows, in a town meeting, and at Comedy Cause 4 with Tim right there. It's pretty cool. And now here at graduation as one of the many voices speaking today. The Literacy Project has taught me to believe in my dreams again and reach for my goals, and to quiet those negative thoughts of I won't make it or I will fail, the thoughts of a fixed mindset. The Literacy Project gave me the tools of a growth mindset, the growth mindset theory, and using positive thinking that I will graduate and I will go to GCC for addiction studies and to become a recovery coach and counselor. I want to help others fighting any battle they may have with addiction. It's never too late to go back to school, and the Literacy Project is the best, along with GCC for adult education. So I encourage you, any dropouts who need their GED to go back to school, especially if you were like me and put it off for a year, every year, and then oops, 20 years went by. Next year can be your best year too, as it has been for me. Thank you, Judith Roberts, and Beth Byrne, and everyone at the Literacy Project. And congratulations to all the graduates.
Let's give the students a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you to our student speakers. A couple of those speeches I was hearing for the second time, and it still made me cry. They're beautiful. I have the great pleasure now to introduce our keynote speaker, Tim Lovett. Tim got his GED, I think, in 2012. Is that right? Yeah, anyway, ages ago. And then he went on to Springfield Technical Community College. And Tim also has given back very generously to the Literacy Project, and this is not entirely unusual. Often our students give back. Amos tutored after he got his GED, tutored other students in math. And so we don't like to let people leave. We want to keep them in the Literacy Project family, so watch out, you guys. But anyway, it's my great pleasure to introduce Tim Lovett. He has Comedy for a Cause, Comedy as a Weapon. Is that also? And yeah, he'll talk to you.
Literacy Project graduates, how y'all feel today? All right, one more time. Literacy Project graduates, how y'all feel today? All right, y'all earned that. Don't get shy now, man. And thank God we under this tent, because I ain't wear sunblock, man. And by the end of the day, I would look like the Lot character in the video game, man. I'm saying, I know you know all these beautiful speeches and heartfelt. I am none of that. If she didn't tell you, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I am none of them. I am none of that. But I first, before I went to the Literacy Project, my greatest academic accomplishment was winning the 4th grade spelling bee. And like Amos, I would lie, like, you know, I'm from Lorain, Ohio, so when I moved to Massachusetts, you know, nobody ever asked me to see a high school diploma, so I would lie. And I would lie so much, like you said, I actually believed I graduated. I remember one time actually, like I called my mom up. I was like, Mom, can you send me my diploma? I want to put it next to my 4th grade championship spelling trophy. And she was like, boy, you ain't got no diploma. You ain't graduate. You ain't got, you need to be calling the Literacy Project, asking them for a diploma. Matter of fact, you ain't win that spelling bee either. You misspelled glamorous. So yeah, I had to get it. See, back in my day, I went to school in the 80s and the 90s, and I had, a form of dyslexia. So, and they don't look at learning disabilities like they do now. So one of the things I was most terrified of was reading in class. And the teacher would have each student read a paragraph, and I would try to match up my paragraph with, I would count the students, then count the paragraphs, and try to pre-read it. And if it was too long, I got clever and just tried to read the title or something like that, like Chapter 6, A Hero's Journey. Who's reading next? And then so I tried to go when I decided I wanted to go back, like I wanted more, I would get factory jobs or just be quiet, like listen, at least I got a job or whatever it was. I tried to go back. I tried to test my knowledge of how much knowledge I retained by watching game shows like Jeopardy and Millionaire and Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And I'm like, the first questions I was okay on. I was like, all right, what are the 3 primary colors? I got that. What are prime numbers? I got that. But then that 5th grade question was like, if the Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun and light travels at a certain speed and the rarefaction of the Earth, what time would that light hit China if it hit the United States first? I'm like, what 5th grade are they learning this at? I was like, I ain't never gonna get no degree. And then like when I had kids, it came a time where I was helping my kids with their work. And I was like, I can do math. And I remember we were sitting there one day, we're doing a math problem, it was like, I don't know, 25 plus 17. And I'm like, all right, here, you take this and then you carry the 1. And he snatched the pencil out my hand. He was like, no, Dad, we group. You have to group these numbers together. You have to group. I'm like, and he's like, this kid is explaining this to me. And so I just zoned him out and I just started thinking like, why don't they carry the 1 no more? Like, what did that 1 do? Did all the numbers get together and was like, listen, you've been freeloading long enough, we can no longer carry you. It's crazy. I was like, I am never going to graduate. I'm never going to graduate, man. So fast forward in life, I had the unfortunate event of being incarcerated. And right then I knew I wanted to change my life. And so I knew I was going to do it the right way, not easy fixes a Band-Aid. So when I was incarcerated, I met, some of the teachers that are under this tent today. And I got my GED. And like Judith said, I went on to, when I got out, I decided I wasn't going back to Springfield. So I stayed in a homeless shelter for 13 months. And while I was in a homeless shelter, I attended college and got a degree in IT security. So that IT security degree allows me to do stand-up comedy. But like so many of you, you've been brave, to make it this far, to go back and accept the challenge. So I decided to accept the challenge. I'm gonna actually read something I wrote, and I really hate reading out loud. But when I was in college, I found out I can write. Now, reading and writing is 2 different things. Well, reading out loud is, a lot different than writing. But I discovered I could write, and I love writing. So I wrote this because I didn't want to just come up here and just be silly. And I really wanted to honor all your achievement and hard work. So it goes. It is my great pleasure to address you today as you embark on a new journey in your lives. This commencement marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. You have worked hard, persevered through challenges, and accomplished so much. You should be proud of yourselves. But as you move forward, it is important to remember that this is not the end. This is just the beginning of a lifetime of learning and growth. Your education has prepared you for the challenges ahead, but there is always more to learn, more to discover, and more to achieve. So what does the future hold for you? It's impossible to say. But one thing is certain, you will face challenges, setback, and disappointment. But remember, these experiences will make you stronger and more resilient. They will teach you valuable lessons and help you grow. And this next line is very important. It's what I live by. Never be afraid to take risks and pursue your dreams. Be bold and courageous. Never give up on what you believe in. Embrace your failures as a stepping stone to success. And always keep learning. But most importantly, remember to be kind and compassionate. Treat others with respect and empathy. Help those in need and make a positive impact in your community. That was the best thing I ever read out loud. But again, I want to say congratulations to everybody. Thank you for letting me speak. And everybody had such beautiful speeches. And last thing I'm going to say is congratulations.
Thanks so much, Tim. Here at Greenfield Community College, the Grants Foundation works hard to raise funds for scholarships for students coming here to study. We have 2 special scholarships to talk about today. Both are named in memory of Tricia Donovan. Tricia Donovan was a resident of Conway and was a GED instructor for many years, during which time she also worked toward her PhD. Her decades of work improved the lives of many who may never have succeeded after traditional education turned out not to be a good fit for their learning journey. In 2012, Tricia's family and friends raised funds for these 2 scholarships, specifically for students who have earned their high school equivalency credentials. The Tricia Donovan Family Scholarship is a permanently endowed fund established by Tricia's husband, Tom, who might be in the audience, I don't know, to support new Greenfield Community College students who have obtained their high school equivalency credential. This year's Family Scholarship has been awarded to Teresita Williams. Is Teresita here? Come on up. Teresita studied with the Literacy Project, earned her high school equivalency credential, and is now ready to start at GCC with an interest in addiction studies and outdoor adventure and a view to becoming a counselor. Congratulations. The Tricia Donovan Memorial Scholarship was established by the late author, historian, and former president of Smith College, Jill Kerr Conway. It is a permanently endowed fund established to support current Greenfield Community College students who obtained their high school equivalency credential in the past. This year's Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Debbie Gonzalez. Is Debbie here? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Well, last year, Debbie was sitting where you're sitting now. Now she's taking classes at GCC and is working toward an associate's degree in liberal arts. She's also working with AmeriCorps and inspiring youth in Greenfield, including her own children. So let's give Debbie a round of applause. So keep your options open and know that you graduates are among the only people who can apply for and receive these 2 scholarships. if you want to come to GCC and continue your education. Before we continue, we have a special presentation that isn't listed in the program. I'd like to invite Greenfield's Mayor Wedna Gardner to come up, please. Wedna Gardner, sorry. Please come and join us on the stage. It's a long way to walk. Let's give our graduates another round of applause today.
I should have stayed on the stage after all. It's a long way. Full of landmines over there, too. So, first of all, I do want to congratulate all you graduates. It is just such a joy to see you here today, to hear your stories. I share the same secret, why this is my favorite graduation as well. And I'll give you a quick short story. We have something in common. At the age of 21, 1968, I left college. I had a child on the way, a husband who was in school with me, and it was 1968. In 1987, at the age of 41, I finally graduated from UWW at the University of Massachusetts. So, I'm not trying to say that one of you might be mayor someday. If you think about it, by all means, give me a call. And I might give you a few pointers. But anyway, congratulations again. And now I'd like to call Judy Roberts up here as well. So Judy, we've known each other a long time. And yesterday, when you were here and you told your story of your trajectory as an adult student at GCC, all the way to being the head of the Literacy Project. It was truly inspiring, and I had forgotten some of it, and some of it I remembered. So it made me especially proud to be here today for you, and to give you a certificate of recognition with many thanks to Judith Roberts in recognition of her 16 years of outstanding dedication and service to the community upon her retirement as Executive Director of the Literacy Project.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I can't resist a microphone. I just want to say, if I've had any success at all as director of the Literacy Project, it's because of our amazing, courageous students, and also killer faculty, staff, administrators, advisors, volunteers. So that's the backbone of the Literacy Project. Thank you.
So Judith, you didn't know that you were graduating today too, right? And now the moment you've been waiting for. If the graduates could all stand and start to make your way up and bring your name cards with you. I'll be reading out your names, and the graduates will have a chance to walk across the stage, and you all have a chance to cheer and come up and take pictures if you'd like. We also have a photographer here, so hold on. Are you ready? All right, hold on. You're going to walk all the way across the stage. Jonah Schofield. You can shake hands if you want. Okay. Casey Aubrey. Okay. Ready? Robin Phillips. You can shake hands as you go across if you want. You can shake hands as you go across. Jada Murray. Tiffany Jalbert. Ariane Korseb. Todd Pavelkops. Jessica Lefferman. Fakria Musawi. Artis Picard. Amos Johnson. Sophia Yassin. Katarina Lenoy. Willow Glenn. Kat Brenton. Talia Rivera. Okay. Before we go, I'd like to thank a few people who have been involved today. Thank you to the politicians who have come, and to all of them, to the Literacy Project Board, to the GCC Foundation and the Donovan family, to the GCC Ed Tech Center, we see you over there, the GCC marketing team, Geraldine and the Genuine staff for catering, Seth Kay for photography, all the maintainers who make this tent and campus look so great, and I'd also like to thank all the sponsors, the planning committee, the teachers, today's volunteers, and all of you. Now, if the graduates could please stand. If you haven't done so already, now's the time to flip your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations.
And thank you to Kate Devlin and GCC for letting us use this beautiful space.
Thank you. Before we go, don't move just yet. Graduates, please remember, once the photos are done, please trade your caps and gowns in and pick up a special certificate and a memento for today. You can keep your tassels. Now we're going to process out. The platform party is going to lead, and then the graduates are going to follow us. And then please join us for some refreshments over on the side of the tent. Thank you very much, everyone.